what on earth is going down? How you diddly deeing? How you diddly diddly doddly diddly daddly deeing? We are back. We're live with the aftermath of my latest booking, Bounce to Your Drop, the launch night, and wow, that's all I can say is wow. This is one hell of an aftermath, but nowhere near as good as what the actual night was. I I can't even begin to explain how good the night was. How good the night was. It was was out of this world. I'm sat here now thinking, did it even happen? Like, was it a dream? Wow. So all I'm saying is wow. I've never been so shocked in all my life at how good a night is. This was a night. This was a fucking night. Wow. I've made this live and I'm just like, because I've got the flyer in front of me. I've just like literally set the flyer to my desktop background on my PC. And I just look at it and I look at the flyer now and I just think, I think, wow, what a night. And I don't even know where to begin to break this down because it was just so good. So I suppose we'll start off with a venue, because obviously the first thing you do is you arrive at the venue. You arrive at the venue. So the venue, um, sorry. Oh. So the venue was the New Light nightclub in Sheffield. It was refurbished this year. It was kind of like renovated. It's like an old chapel. It's been done into this nightclub. So we get to the venue. It's like a massive, like I say, old chapel. We walk inside. So you go to the doors and there's like a little almost like a little booth area where a guy sits, and obviously you'd show him a ticket, or you'd pay at the door kind of thing, like a proper proper at the booth kind of thing, as you go up in, as you go into the club. So you walk round, and it almost for a second kind of looks like you've just walked into like an all-you-can-eat restaurant. Where you go down like a corridor and you just come out into this open space where you would expect all the tables to be, where you'd expect like the actual buffet and stuff like that to be. So you walk down this really nice presented corridor, and then you open out into this amazing venue that is just absolutely so fantastic. The dance floor, the decor, like the colour of the walls from the floor right up to the ceiling, just everything. Even the bar was just the venue itself has been well and truly 100%. It's been renovated so well, and everything just gives you a warm, sort of comfy, sort of a welcoming atmosphere. It doesn't as such remind you as like a dirty mucky rave. It's more like a proper good decent quality night out. And the venue is just amazing. And I've been to a few venues in my time, and I don't I ain't gonna name, but this venue has definitely put a lot of other venues I've been to shame. And I wish like some of the other venues would kind of come and look at this venue and not necessarily copy, but take on a few tips, because a few things that this nightclub just had was just absolutely fantastic. And whatever they're doing at that venue, they're doing something right. They're doing something absolutely fantastic, because whatever is happening at that venue, it's working, and they're actually getting a lot of people through the door. The bounce night itself last night was absolutely rammed. The turnout just it could not have been better. I've been to venues and nights out where there's been maybe like 20, 30 people at the night, and the night's been a little bit of a disappointment. You go to this one, and there must have been going on like nearly 400 people at this night. They absolutely crammed it. The smoking area was full of people sat outside smoking and socialising. The dance floor was rammed with people dancing and raving. There was a balcony with VIPs on. And when we left, which was about, I think it was going up, I think it was just after 3. It would be about quarter past 20 past 3, and there were still people coming in. There was still like a bit of a queue outside of people that was actually coming into the night. There was people that were still arriving. And the headliners have been on, so there would have been some last minute people that would have maybe just been in, on a night out in Scunthorpe, wasn't really sure what was going down, and they just hear this music banging, and they think, do you know what, let's go into this place, and they pay to go in. They have a banging night. They don't really know too much about who was on. They just hear banging music coming from this club as they're half wrecked from wherever else they've been. So there was just an absolutely heaving crowd. Music wise, every DJ just absolutely smashed it. Every DJ had their own style of bounce, and the crowd just loved it. Every tune, the crowd was dancing. Every tune, the crowd was singing. Hands in the air when the big melodies were coming in, and it was honestly just an absolutely. It was just an amazing feeling. Just to see people having such an amazing time. There was no fights that I can recall. The only thing I do recall is I went outside with my friend Leeton, who smokes, just to get a bit of air at one point, and there was a couple of young lads that were sort of having a little bit of an argument, but that I'm aware of, it never escalated into a fight, but it was what, we were stood outside. It was one of them where we were just kind of, be a bit wary, because they were almost right in front of us, and if something broke out, someone would have probably got pushed into us or something, and that sort of thing. So it was, that I'm aware of, that there was no trouble. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I didn't go around exactly spotting out trouble. But from what I saw, I just saw a little argument in the smoking shelter that I'm aware that I'm aware of never escalated into anything. We went in before we was able to find out. There was a guy like trying to calm it down, trying to like say, all right, look, we get it now. Look, let's just not have no trouble. And there was just a little bit of bickering. I didn't know if it was going to lead into a fight or not, but like I say, I don't know if it did. But other than that, everyone else just seemed like happy on life. There was quite a lot of young people at the night, a lot of like youngish people, like young ladies, sort of like I want to say like college and university people that maybe have only just sort of been able to start coming on a night out, and they're having all the Jaegers, and they're taking selfies for Snapchat, and look where I am at this amazing night out, sort of kind of people. There was a lot of youngish people. There was a few older people as well, and like I say, it was just an absolutely it was an amazing night. So obviously I was on first. I was on 11 till 12. So the night started at 11. Dance floor was dead when I started up, but it soon quickly filled up. Because obviously I started at 11, and by 10 past there was people coming in. Because when we got there was actually a queue. There was a queue at the door, so we just kind of had to like push past the queue. And I was obviously playing. I was gigging. So I was a little bit like, I'm gigging kind of thing. So I had to push straight through. I got there about 10 to 11, so I was a little bit later than I was planning. but my friend was on. He was on radio before he picked me up, and I'd actually gone to another night out in Hull, because it was round the corner from the radio, where my friend was on, and it just made sense. You know, I could support that night, and then I could just get picked up, and I could go across to the bounce night. But it was just a little bit later out, than I thought he was going to be, and we got stuck behind a Land Rover on the way, which was just he was on a little bit of a go slow, and then he eventually turned off, and we actually made up some time after that. Got stuck behind another car that was on another go slow. We managed to overtake him, and literally that was like literally it. So we got there, like I say, about 10 to, so I had to more or less come in. I got onto the stage, got my USB and my headphones out ready, and we was ready to bounce, baby. We was ready to bounce, and it was just absolutely, like I say, it was out of this world. There was just no other way to describe it. It was just absolutely out of the world. So I jumped on the decks and I played a blinding set. People was happy with the set. The promoters of the night was happy with the set. There was a lot of old school tunes in there, which was what I was going for. I had an idea what Club Filler and them was going to play. They was going to play a lot of the Club Landish stuff. So I tried to find some like old school tunes, and I found some absolute belters, sort of like Kings of Tomorrow, finally, sort of like Sweet Harmony and stuff like that, just some like classics and stuff. So I'm gonna sort of like, I think, well, I know for certain there will be another night, I can promise you, because even they were so pleased with the turnout. I can imagine that they'll have me back again. But like I say, I'm not completely certain when the next night will be. But all I am gonna say is it was an absolute belter of a night. Like I say, the classics that I pulled out was good, and I'm already like itching now to put another set together for like the second night, if you like, for sort of like for the next one, just in case I am playing at it, because I'm just so buzzed. Like I just wish it was coming up again. I honestly just wish it was coming up again, but it was just it was an amazing atmosphere to be playing there, and it's really buzzed me. It's put me on a massive like highs. Like I just feel so buzzed. That they, of all people, I mean, they could have asked a lot of people to open up that first set. And to be fair, another thing that surprised me as well is I hadn't mixed bounce in a while. I'd done it a couple of times on a live stream, just because I found some discs with it on, and I thought for a change I'll do it. And then I got asked to do the night. My name got put forward for the night. And I started like browsing bounce again, and it was almost like I fell in love with the genre again. And the thing that what I like about bounce is it's a bit more upbeat and ravey, like a bit like hardcore is, but it's not as fast. And the thing I like about it is a lot of tunes that I love, like old house tunes. There's good bounce remixes of it, because a lot of the house, if you speed it up to the, if you play the vocals at like the hardcore speed, like they sound a bit too fast, and some of them don't work. So you're finding these like genres of of like vocals that you just you can't sort of play in a hardcore set, because they're not being remixed as hardcore, because they don't sound good when they're speeded up to that pitch. Like for example, there's Standing in the Way of Control that I remixed. I wanted to hardcore it, but because the original vocals at 116 BPM, you speed that up to 170, it doesn't work, and it just sounds like too fast, and it doesn't fit. Sounds too chipmunky, and it doesn't work at that speed. But bounce, however, speeding it up to 150 from 116 is almost like speeding a 130 vocal up to 170. So it kind of works, and it works a lot better. So that's why I think in some sense I like the bounce, because you can play like these remixes of like vocals that I love that you just don't hear in hardcore, because they're not fan, they're too, they don't sound good at that speed. So it was just absolutely fantastic. So like I say, my set just went down a treat. As I say, as I was playing, the nightclub was just getting busier and busier, and it was like a proper honour to open up the night, and just to like just to smash it in, really. So yeah. So obviously, as aftermaths go, this is for me. This is by far the best gig that I've ever done. Like, out of any gig that I've ever done, it was the best gig that I've ever done. It was just, for me. It ticked all the boxes. And this is not saying that I haven't enjoyed like other events that I've gigged at. I've done some amazing ones. The DNA with Scott Brown, that was an absolutely belting night. And loads of other nights as well that I've done that have been belting. There was the memorial nights. There's the festival was a belter as well. And just literally, everything in general was just absolutely fantastic though about this night. And that's why for me it is the best night that I've ever gigged at. But obviously, that there's gonna be like, more to come. So like, not just bounce nights, like this is it now. Like, I'm gonna get asked to do a few things, and I'll play dead nights, I'll play lively nights. It's just, it's the way it goes. But this event was promoted very well. It was advertised on podcasts. It was flying about. It was shared about a lot. The ticket link was shared about. A lot of people came and actually paid on the door. So it was just, they were doing things right. And there's a lot of people that sort of have an idea. They think, what, I want to put a little night on. But putting a little night on is not always as easy as it sounds. Like, oh, I'm gonna put a little night on. Sometimes things can work in your favour. Like, maybe somebody who runs a venue, so you get a venue cheaper, or you get a venue for free. And then sometimes, maybe you just know certain DJs, so they'll come and play for you. But sometimes, putting a night on can just be a lot harder than you can actually imagine. And a lot of work. And even though this night, turned out amazing, there would have been stress for the promoters, and there would have been like trying to sort of get things sorted, and there'll be people like asking them things, and they'll be trying to do 101 things at one time. So my hats off go to them. I know that Top Vibe in the ticket booth, he did actually look a little bit. At some points, he looked a little bit almost like stressed out. Like he had his serious game on. Because I know like they wanted to introduce me to him and stuff, and he was like, introduce me in a bit. I'm busy at the moment, kind of thing. Which you can understand. A lot of stuff has to be like organised still, even though the night's going on. He's in the ticket box, people are coming in, he's sorting cash and change out. But going back to sort of sum this up, it was just an amazing night. That's all I can literally say about it. It was just an absolutely belting night, and I just can't wait to hear more of these bounce till you drop nights. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, share, subscribe. Peace out, people.